and basically shows you how this was basically like a study case that showed the pteropod's shell placed in seawater with pH and carbonate levels that were equivalent to the projected levels in 2100. So as you can see, like in from like days 0 to 15, it's doing fine, but like after like a month, it begins to disintegrate and ends up being useless for the rest of the ecosystem. And not only is it happening in this guys, but it's happening at smaller and larger scales. And it's important because billions of us rely on the ocean for food, and many jobs and economies rely on fish and shellfish in our oceans. So now Jerry will talk to you about the effects on us with climate change.
So changes in our ocean, most specifically sea level rise, will have severe effects on our daily lives. Even if we don't live right on the coast, we will still feel these effects. By the year 2100, sea levels are estimated to rise 1.2 meters, or just over 3 feet, from where they are today, according to the article The End of the Pacific, written by Patrick Nunn. And in this article, he provided this map, which shows the island, or the Tonga Island chain, which is in the South Pacific, and it shows one of the islands, and up top is a snapshot from the year 2012, and all the darkly shaded regions are heavily populated areas. And as you can see, within the next 100 years, most of those regions get consumed by the sea. So what this means is that there's massive amount of loss and humans are being displaced. So what it means for the future is that we have to find a new place to live, and also we're losing land that could be used for agriculture. And land by the sea is usually full of nutrients, so this land is very valuable as well. But why should you guys care about an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? You probably shouldn't. But these same effects that are happening to this island are happening in California. In an article written by the Mercury News by Curtis Alexander, it shows that the San Francisco Bay Area will have massive flooding effects in the near future. In the year 2045, all of that blue region will be chronically flooded. That means that it will be underwater 25% of the year. And by the year 2100, that blue region has expanded, and 11% of San Francisco as a city will be underwater, and half of Alameda County will be flooded. Also, what is very important about this is San Francisco has one of the biggest airports in the world. It is right next to the San Francisco Bay. Within the year 2100, it's projected to be mostly underwater. So, another way that sea level rises are impacting humans is through natural disasters. So, findings by Keiki Zhang and others in an article estimating sea level rise effect on storm surge flooding showed that within the next 50 years, storm surges will grow by a magnitude of 20% and will last 30 or up to 30% longer. And they will affect 50 to 140% more people. So, a storm surge is this demonstrated up here, and it's when the storm comes in, it creates a typhoon-like effect, and it's just a massive amount of water moving through an area. And as you can see, if the mean sea level is higher, then the storm surge will be higher as well, and it will cause more damage. And that brings about the problem of rebuilding, because there are going to be obviously structures that are destroyed when storms come in and do their thing, and it might not be safe for people to rebuild in the same area. So the new problem now is deciding if we really want to rebuild in our cities or if we want to build new cities. Another way that natural disasters can affect us, and this way is a lot more relevant to us living in California, is through earthquakes. From an interview with Adrian Grieve, a professor at Cal Poly who specializes in urban hydrology and stormwater, she talked about the situation in the California Delta. So, the California Delta is also in the general region of the San Francisco Bay Area, and it houses 2/3 of California's drinking water and is the largest source of drinking water in the entire United States. So, due to sea level or rising sea levels, it is providing increasing stress on levees, and with an earthquake of a 6 magnitude, or at least a 6 magnitude, it would cause these levees to rupture, and salt water would intrude into all of the drinking water, contaminating everything. And this would also halt our California's economy, because it would prevent water from going to ag lands, which is one of our main economic factors, and our economy is the 8th largest one in the world. So, for me, Ryan, and Trent, and many of you, the ocean can be a second home, and for surfers and beachgoers, we are still experiencing effects, and will experience these effects even more. By the year 2100, Southern California is also estimated to lose about half of their beaches, and along with that, countless surf spots as well.
And since we all are residents that are so close to the coast, we thought it would just be beneficial to inform you guys about the current and future weather trends in our oceans.
We hope that we have shed some new light on the topic of climate change in relation to oceans specifically, and that hopefully you may be intrigued to even do something about it in the future.